Everyone, welcome to the Dr. Nia Adesanya show. Again, excited to be here. Of course, this is where I share resources to help SMEs thrive. And wanted to remind everybody this platform is for educative and informative purposes only. All right. So if you do not have a professional, a CPA that you're working with, please feel free to reach out. That's my website. Of course, I navigate to my CPA firm website and set up a consultation. So great to be here, and of course, happy that you are able to watch me today. So today I have another interesting topic, short, interesting topic. Now I know that a lot of people use a lot of businesses, right? Business owners, right? Use vehicles, right, for their business, right? And a lot of times they want to buy a company car, right? So my topic today is how to, or let me put it this way, factors to consider when buying a company vehicle, a company car. What are the factors to consider? All right. And so I'm not, of course, this is very short and I'm not going to go through the entire, or I mean, of course, there's so many factors, but I'm just going to mention, I believe, three just within this short period of time. And for as a CPA, I also look at, I mean, I tie everything to, of course, costs. You really want to make sure that you're maximizing the specific asset or the specific vehicle, right? You're thinking of, okay, how does it, at the end of the day, can I get can I get some advantage, whether tax advantage, right? You want to make sure that, yes, you're spending money, but you're also looking for ways that this can actually give you a benefit, right? Tax benefit, because I always tell people you want to make good money, but you don't want to give all your money or pay all your money you're making or everything you're making, put it towards taxes, right? You want to do tax planning and all those good stuff. All right. So the very first factor to consider, number one, is of course capital. How much do you have? How much do you have? How much do you want to allocate to the vehicle, right? To buying this vehicle or to buying this car? Of course, you have to look at your pocket. I always tell, don't go and buy something that is something that is too expensive for your business, right? That it'll be so expensive. Maybe you want to, some people don't want to, pay outright. They want to put a car note out, but you don't want something that is too expensive. So first of all, you have to look at how much you have. That's the very first step. How much do you have? You don't want to put too much pressure on your company. You want to look at the cost, right? And that's why I always say that work with a professional, right? And say, okay, let's do some analysis. What can I afford? Right? Very important. That's the very first thing that you have to look at. What can you afford? Now, assuming that, yeah, you can choose any vehicle, you can afford any one you want. I mean, that's good. But if you can't, first of all, look at how much you can afford, right? What is it that you can afford? That's the very first step, right? You don't want to put your business under pressure. You want to make sure that you're not spending. I mean, of course, you want to be liquid. You don't want to overspend on just this vehicle when you have so much to spend money on, right? You want to run your business, right? So that's the very first factor to consider. Capital, how much you have. Capital, how much you have, right? The second factor to consider, and I know this might be weird when I say the weight of the car, right? Wait, hear me out. Hear me out. You might be wondering, what does the weight of a car have to do with this, with my business? Well, there's something called depreciation, and depreciation, of course, I'm not going to be so technical, but what happens that every year, if you have an asset, right? Like an asset is something used for your business, right? Examples of asset are furniture. I mean, you're not selling the furniture, using the furniture, in your office, of course, I mean, you're using things like, I mean, of course, the vehicle, you have a vehicle. Those are assets, right? Those are the examples. We use it for more than, of course, more than the year of the more than 1 year, or generally that's what it is. It, of course, it is. So those that don't understand that, remember that if you buy paper for copying paper, of course, that is not that's not an asset because you're not using it over the period of the example I'm giving for that period of a year. And I'm not going to go into deep definition of current assets and assets. And no, this is not the sense of this program. All right. This is just for SMEs that, that want to hear and know that, okay, this is what they need to do to get someone to help them. Okay. So why am I talking about weight? Now, remember when I started, I said you want to make sure that you're maximizing, you're buying this car, but you're also getting some tax benefits, right? Because when you get tax benefits, what happens, right? You reduce the taxes you pay, right? You're not making all your money, so it's part of tax planning. So there is and again, I'm not going to get so technical, but just know that for a heavier car, right? A heavier car and the car, let's say 6,000 pounds and above, right? Or something, of course, figures weight continues to change, but that's where we're at. That if it's a certain pound, or sorry, yeah, 6,000 pounds and above, you can actually get a higher tax deduction, right? As opposed to a smaller vehicle. Now, the smaller vehicle can still get a tax deduction, but it's not as much, right? You can't get as much as buying a car that is heavy car that is, again, 6,000 pounds or more. All right. And sometimes I hear clients that call me and say, okay, what kind of car? I know you've talked about something like that. And I say, okay, you know what? Almost the same pricing, go for a heavier car so you can get, and this heavier car is not less than 6,000 pounds, but so that you can get a higher tax deduction. All right. So look at the weight of the vehicle. That's one of the things. Remember, buying that car, so to consider the weight of the vehicle, right? And of course, you might not have known that, but yeah, of course, and again, factors change, but that is a huge one, right? Because you want to get as much, tax you want to get as much as possible, a great tax break, right? And of course, can talk about planning how that works. But just note that. So yes, the weight, yeah, is weird, right? Yeah, the weight of the vehicle makes a difference. All right. So that's the second factor, right? And again, as I said, the list is not exhaustive, but because this is just a short program, and I just want to just have it out there. And of course, again, work with a professional. The third point is whether the vehicle is an electrical vehicle or it's not, right? Now, if you choose, say, you know what, to buy an electrical vehicle, we fall again on what? Tax breaks, right? Tax breaks. The beauty of buying an electrical vehicle is that, oh my goodness, there's so many tax credits out there. I know what happens when you have tax credits, right? We pay less taxes, right? More money gets into your pocket, because when you're paying less taxes, let's say now, give me an example. Let's say your tax was, let's say 10,000, right? You pay you're supposed, then after all this planning and everything, you get to pay what? 6,000. 4,000 is plus to you, right? 4,000 gets back into your pocket. So all these things I'm saying, right? The factors I'm mentioning is to put that more money in your pocket, right? And so what happens with an electrical vehicle is that there are so many um, um, tax credits out there for electrical vehicles. And if there's some states that they also give tax credits. So if you're in a state that actually that if you're a state that has income taxes, right? That's something that one can look at. Your professional can look at, or you can work with us, because that's another factor, right? At the federal level, we know that yes, there are tax benefits for electrical vehicles. So that's why now a lot of people are buying electrical vehicles for their businesses, a lot, right? Because of that tax credit. All right. So those are some of the things. Again, as I said, their list is are not they have there are more than three factors, but because of time, just consider these factors, right? Again, how much you have to spend, Then the weight, I know, yes, in this case, weight is good, right? So, yes, the weight of the vehicle. And of course, is it an electrical vehicle or is it not an electrical vehicle? So, EV, electrical vehicles, a lot of good things happening there. All right. And of course, tax laws continue to change, it's very important. Of course, always state here, I'm not a tax attorney, but my expertise, I am very competent with the Internal Revenue Code, which is, my background in taxes, right? But it's very important for us to understand that. So again, work with a professional, but just these are some highlights. There are so many others, right? But I know that a lot of people think of that, and I know that towards the end of the year, we're approaching the last quarter of the year. There are so many promotions out there, and I know some people take advantage of that. So you know what? I'll wait to the end of the year to buy a vehicle. There's nothing wrong with that. Take advantage of that promotion, but also it's important for you to take advantage of looking at various factors to say, okay, what is the best vehicle for my business so I can get what the best tax benefit, right? Of course, there are other factors apart from tax, but I mean, I always tie that because again, I look at the profit. I always say profit. Look at how your business can be efficient up to tax level and do the big picture. And we have big picture, or my firm is a big picture firm, so we look at the whole aspect of the business. All right. So again, thank you for being here. I hope I've shared something exciting and interesting. And of course, this is again reminding everyone this is for informative and educative purposes only, but great to work with you if you don't have anybody working with you right now. So see you next time. And of course, remember for your SME, which is a small medium enterprise, you can say a small business or small medium sized business to thrive. You have to be intentional about it. All right. See you next time.